I'm David Groninger, and today is Sunday, January 11th, in the year 2016. I just played the first page of one of my favorite pieces by Rachmaninoff. It inspires me. I try to play that piece every day. Each day I ask myself the question, what can I say in 5 or 10 minutes that just might help 5 or 10 million people? And today I have the idea, it's called how to stretch. How to stretch yourself without breaking. And it has to do with stretching mainly in a mental kind of a way, a mental or emotional kind of way. And it has to do with stretching your thinking. And it's related to when you're setting goals, your ambitions, and you want to stretch toward your dreams and ambitions. First, I'd like to say that, each one of us, in the way we study about how we go about doing things in life, we have a lot of valuable insights that we can share with other people. Insights and ideas that we have picked up as to what works or what doesn't work with us individually in the accomplishment of our dreams and ambitions in life. And I encourage you as listener to make notes of the things that are working for you and to promote them more. Write little articles, include them in your emails, make little videos like this and send them out to people. It can be of tremendous help because we all have similar issues, similar kinds of things that we have problems with in being happy, healthy, and achieving what we want in life. And we can be of tremendous help to each other if we work together and share what works and share what doesn't work. We can save each other a lot of time. So, in the area of setting and achieving goals, the particular specialty that I find most fascinating is not so much the fact of achieving a goal, the fact of making progress or building toward a goal. The thing that fascinates me most is the style of achieving the goal. That is the state of mind and the state of feeling and the joy of achieving the goal. The way I call it the pace of joy. You might say life at the pace of joy, or achieving your goals at the pace of joy. So in other words, it's a manner of doing something rather than the fact of doing something. It's the way of accomplishing any goal in any area of your life, but doing it in a kind of a style almost like a dance whereby you are in harmonious step with the laws of life and the laws that govern the particular science or field of endeavor that you're in. In other words, it's a way of achieving things in life without too much struggle. You're still making progress, but you're doing it in a way that I think really manages stress a lot better. And the particular talk today, it's called How to Stretch Without Breaking. You might also call it How to Stretch Without Snapping Back. Or how to take, it's easy to take 3 steps forward and maybe 2 steps back, another 3 steps forward and maybe 1 or 2 steps back, and that's kind of normal the way we progress. But to be taking maybe 15 steps forward and then snapping all the way back to 0 again, or even to -5 because it was so traumatic to snap back, that can be a little bit jolting in the style or manner in which we accomplish things. So the idea I have is simply this: find a way to stretch without breaking. And a particular example I'm going to give is with a rubber band. I think you could probably see it in the camera here, but it's like this. Let's say here you are, we're at the beginning right here, and you're stretching this way. You're stretching, this way toward your goal. You can only stretch so far because this is a rubber band, and it might break. So here's the idea. Instead of trying to continue to stretch more and more and more until you reach a breaking point, or maybe snap back and even go the other way, It's like this. Imagine that this rubber band is held here with a peg, and you stretch not all the way to stretch the rubber band till it might break, but just stretch to kind of a comfortable level. Maybe just a little bit more than comfortable, but try to keep it comfortable. And instead of trying to stretch this end further, the way you do it is you move the peg this way. Now the rubber band is easy again and loose, and now you stretch gently again. And you just keep moving the peg and stretching, moving the peg and stretching. So in other words, you can move this rubber band 100 miles by just moving the place where it starts from. Each time you make a stretch, you kind of just move the first part of it again. So that's the idea. The idea is how to stretch without breaking, how to stretch without snapping back. And you might want to use a rubber band in your office or in your home as a symbol, something that represents this particular idea. I find it such a tendency to want to keep stretching. I've worked for companies that had particular goals, income goals, productivity goals. And the way they would manage things is you'd have to keep working harder and harder and harder. The goals would keep going up and up and up. But the management would not reinforce by hiring more people. It would not reinforce by giving you better training so you can be more effectively achieve more. The management would not teach ways of introduce new technology or new tools so that you can achieve more. It was like using the same people to try to accomplish more and more until the people got so burned out they quit. So it was like things snapping back, getting worse than when they started. I set this alarm clock to go off about 6 minutes into my talk in order to keep me disciplined to have short, succinct talks. Well, this is the idea. It is how to stretch without breaking. So ask yourself these questions relating to your goals in life. How can you stretch in terms of increased productivity and increased quality of how you are performing at the work there? How can you stretch without breaking? How can you stretch without snapping back? And try to find ways, or you might ask yourself this, how can I continue to just stretch gently and move the peg a little bit more? Stretch more, move the peg a little bit more. One idea for this is that every time you reach a new plateau on any area of life, try to find more people who are already at that plateau to include in your personal support team. Your people friends, associates, colleagues, people you can team up with and learn from. And every time you reach a new plateau, create more relationships with people at that plateau, at that new plateau. You see, one of the ways people stay pegged at the very first peg, no matter how many times they stretch, it always snaps back again, is they don't meet new people. They keep with the same sphere of influence, and a sphere of influence are people who you get influenced by. The same people here, so you stretch, but the same mindset is holding you back. As soon as you make your gentle stretch, find some new people. You can still stay friends with these people, but realize that you can meet new people too. Use some of these 7 billion people on our planet as a resource for you to help move the peg, keep moving the peg, and the actual stretch of the rubber band is easy. It's not very difficult. So that's my message. Ask yourself these questions. How can you stretch without breaking? How can you stretch without snapping back? How can you reach plateaus, and how can you meet people at these plateaus that you can invite into your support system? And how can you add value to what they're trying to accomplish as well? So it can be a win-win situation. So that's basically the talk for today. How to stretch without breaking. Use a rubber band and do this exercise often of stretching it as far as you can, and once in a while let it break and see how much it hurts when it snaps back. Emotionally and mentally, that's what happens to our lives if we try to stretch too far. Like for example, if you're not going to get enough sleep because you want to use so much of your time to be successful in your career or business or whatever, you don't get enough sleep. It's like you're stretching a part of your life, or you don't take the time to eat healthy meals and eat the right kind of food. So here you are stretching a certain way, but you're not moving the peg forward. You're not reinforcing your support level, like for your physical health, like good food and proper rest. And what happens is I've seen it so many times, people get burned out. They don't take care of themselves. They let their health get deteriorated, and now they're limited sometimes for life in what they can accomplish because they've lost their health. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let yourself break or snap in any of your aspects of your life. You don't have to do it that way. You can find ways of gently reaching forward, finding new support, the wisdom, the knowledge, the skills, the people who can support you, and then reaching a little bit forward again. And then finding new support, skills, people who can help you, and moving forward again. So that's the idea that I'm sharing with you today. Find ways to stretch without breaking. And I'll end with this piece that I play every day with just a few measures of it. I meditate every day, and because I meditate and do exercises, it's easy for me to play pieces that go fast and are kind of loud. If I didn't meditate, and if I didn't practice slowly, I might get all kinds of, carpal tunnel, or even arthritis. And I know many pianists who have experienced that. And you know why? They stretch too far without regrouping. If they would have exercised more, had a tremendous diet, drinking lots of water, did lots of yoga, and did slow, easy practicing, rather than practicing 5 or 6 hours a day and not taking care of the other parts of their body, but just overworking this part, had they taken care of their whole body, they may not have gotten those conditions. So this is David Groninger saying thank you for listening to this talk called How to Stretch Without Breaking. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening.